training pitches and stuff like that. What do you think? Let's concentrate on Kenya, because we know in Tanzania they are going to. Of course, Benjamin Mkapa.
Dar es Salaam and most probably Zanzibar.
Zanzibar.
Yes, because the establishment is from Zanzibar.
Yeah.
And then alternative should be Dodoma.
Because there's something like there's a place where they're starting to build a whole new stadium.
That's in Dodoma. The country's capital, political capital is in Dodoma.
Yeah.
And they're coming up with a very good stadium. I think a collaboration between the Tanzanian and Moroccan government.
So it will be there, or Sheikh Abed Karume.
Yes, in Karume should be almost a given.
Yeah.
Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar, almost a given.
Okay. Kule Uganda, it's Nambole.
Nambole and
one other.
Nachivubo.
Both
in Kampala.
Nachivubo.
Yeah. Both in Kampala. But Nachivubo,
Nachivubo na City Stadium, same was up.
Maombi.
So that you realize that I'm already going ahead of myself. Because now when you guys were just discussing, it just crossed my mind. I was thinking, if we win the bid, so, okay, fine. How will we structure ourselves in terms of coverage and all that stuff? So does it mean that we have our sister stations and sister papers covering from that end, or we send our colleagues as well from here to go to the different countries? I was just thinking out of the blue, because the more I look at it in that sense, the more I realize actually East Africa could win the bid.
Mm-hmm. It's not far away.
Because there's another thing people are forgetting, our internet.
Yes.
Which is very, very important. You see the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations will be, if you notice, there's been a very intentional push for digital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In even global sport.
Yes.
So I hope in part of the bid there's some of the things that they considered as well, to be able to say, okay, fine, this is what you're going to do. But this also in terms of the digital space, this is how you're going to make this Afcon digitally friendly, because most Afcons, they're not as digitally friendly if you think about it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot.
Let me tell you, I was in Equatorial Guinea.
Hey.
Ask Kwallimwa.
Bata, Mongomo.
Internet.
Baby. My friend. Tutaandika kitabu.
Afcon, let me tell you, the first place I've ever been to cover an Afcon, and I stayed at a 4-star hotel, was Egypt in 2019. And I've been to a fair few of them.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Been to maybe 4 or 5. Mnakaa ukaka hivi kwa rumba na wewe uko hii side, kuna mnyama anakanga ile side, mnakanga tu hivyo.
Mimi Malabo airport, kama ningepata mtu wa kunipatia offer ya kurudi home before nitoke kwa airport, ningerudi.
Ile tulikuwa tunaingia, alafu unapimwa temperature pale.
Unapimwa temperature, nikatoka nje nikaangalia.
It was that time for Ebola.
Nikasema, Mungu amenileta wapi huku na kwa nini?
Alafu ile unashaingia ndege iko na free sitting. Unajua siko mshaingia ndege iko na free sitting.
It is a local. It is a local.
Free sitting ile tu wewe.
International flight.
Sasa hiyo kutoka Bata kwenda Malabo.
Kwenda Bata sijui kwenda wapi. So tuko sawa. Kenya, the few things to put in place. So so Kampala most likely, Nachivubo, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
You said that, and in my head I remembered one Kulukuku. I don't know why. The stadium. I don't know why.
Yeah. So Uganda, Nambole, yes. Nachivubo, a lot of work needs to be done. A lot.
Because Nambole has been closed off for many years. Yeah?
Yes. In fact, Uganda has been playing her national team matches away. I think 2 of them.
Sasa Uganda na Kenya tuko the same. Tuna stadium imekubaliwa.
Tanzania pekee Benjamin Mkapa ndio iko na imepatiwa green light.
Hii region pekee yake. Anyway, let's talk about Kenya. So, the bid has Nyayo National Stadium, Moi International Sports Center Kasarani, and Kipkeino Stadium in Eldoret.
Ati?
Yes. Those are our proposed venues.
Oh my God, I'm disappointed.
Why?
Yeah. I think there's a lot as a country we can showcase, we can introduce to the world about Kenya, where visitors, I'm expecting, give or take 300,000-400,000 visitors to come in for Afcon and leave, teams, officials, what have you. It's going to be a bonanza. It's going to be extravaganza.
Yes.
There's a lot we can showcase Africa and the world from Mombasa and Kisumu as compared to Eldoret. That's my take. I mean, Mombasa, we all know Mombasa. Kenya gets like 2.5 million visitors every year coming in for tourism.
70% go to Mombasa.
Mombasa, Malindi, Diani.
Basically the coastal region.
Yes. And there's a lot. White beaches, good weather, a good city, old town. Mombasa could have given a lot of value for money than Eldoret, in my opinion. Kisumu too, Lake Victoria, there's a lot you can do around Lake Victoria. Big city, clean city. The establishment has done a lot of good work at Kisumu. I don't know what criteria we use to settle for Eldoret, but there are better options in my opinion.
I agree with you, especially from, not even just from something to see, just from a football perspective. It's like having athletics and then taking it to, with all due respect to my hometown, to Nyeri.
Yes.
Like with all due respect to it.
I
Like,
hear you.
You might be better off in Nairobi or in Eldoret or in Nyahururu or in Kisii. But when you take it to Garissa, for example, and it's people
Even
like,
Kakamega.
yeah, I guess you'll be like, "It's not Imbio, Imbio." So I get that side of it. I understand that bit about it. And also there is, like, it would have been more evenly distributed in the country. However, I feel one of the reasons why we are settling for Nyayo and Kasarani is because the stadiums are already there, and rather than build them from scratch, all we have to do is change things within the stadium, as opposed to having to build it afresh. So what do I mean? We have a few problems with both stadiums. Both stadiums, by the way, they are like twin brothers in terms of problems. Yes, like twin brothers, quite literally. You have floodlights.
Onge.
Both stadiums onge. And you need it a HD quality for HD TV. You need turnstiles so that you know how many guys are going in, and like a proper ticketing system. You need proper seating. Our surface is, and then the other small things, like the tunnel has to be, I don't know, 4 meters wide. The tunnel has to have, you see that thing where you pull it and then like there are those small tiny details that we need to do, but they are all doable. By the way, you make sure you watch our interview on Monday on Spot On, because even
spoke about interviewing on Spot On Monday?
The president Nick Mondo, he spoke about what we need, how you need it, where you need it. Simple things, Bernard, like toilets. Like,
you know about toilets. Let me tell you about toilets. People take it for granted. I was there at the Kipkeno Classics last week. At least I was privileged to use, I think, one of the VIP washrooms.
Yes.
And there was water. But there are times I've got to the public toilets. There's no water sometimes. There's no soap. And it's small things. Because you know the thing is, that is welfare. You see, when you have organizing a big event, like when you have a wedding, when you have a big function, there's usually facilities to ensure that, because we are humans, of course, it's a natural process. But you need to make sure that the facilities are clean, they're hygienic, because I don't understand why. Because I've been there for some other championships. The time I was there, not even a championship, I think it was a match. And the toilets for the public, there was no water.
And
then the loose didn't have lights.
Yes.
Sometimes they are blocked.
There were